Hey there, 6th grade ELA classes. This is Mr. Picard with a lesson on how to do this project where you're making a movie poster to show the theme of a book of your choice. Hopefully you've chosen a meaningful book because that will make this assignment a lot easier if you have. So once you've chosen your book and you've filled out the worksheet that lays out your topics, your theme, and your evidence, you're ready to start on this part of the project. The first thing you're going to do is you're going to log into Edmodo. This is my student version of my account that I've made, and so it looks just like yours. You can see that we've got this post here that I made with the template that you're going to use for this project. The first thing you need to do is when you find this post, you're going to download it. That's the little paper icon here. So I click download and wait. And then now I'm using Safari, so I'm going to fetch my downloads from up here. If you're using Firefox, I believe the downloads show up down here, or Chrome. I don't know, I don't really use those very much, so you'll have to find where the downloads are. In fact, why don't you just use Safari and make it a lot easier on yourself? So here we go, click on the downloads, and this right here is the movie poster template that I just downloaded. So I'm going to click on it twice to open it. Okay, and you see this is my example that I made using the short story Home, right? The first thing you want to do is you want to make it yours. Okay, so you're going to go to File, Save As, all right, and you are going to title it with your name and movie poster. So let's say that this was Justin Bieber's work. We would title it Justin Bieber Movie Project. And then click on the desktop over here. So you're making sure to save it on the desktop. And then hit save. Okay. Okay, now that you have your work saved with your name and movie poster after it, you can start to change it to make it yours, to make it fit your book. The first thing you want to do is change the background picture. Okay, right now I've got a picture of a nice home to go with the short story Home. Let's say I was going to use the short story Licked that we read in class, where the whole fly swatter is kind of like the main character of that story. I am going to find a picture of a fly swatter, so here's what I do. Go over to Google Image Search, which I've already done. And I typed in fly swatter clip art. I wanted just kind of a cartoony one. You can use any picture that fits your book, except for the cover of the book, of course. And I'm going to go with this one, kind of like this with the flies buzzing around. And here's what you do. You hover over the picture. You hold down the Control key. It's just to the left of the space bar. Hold down the Control key, click, and choose this download link. Oh, I'm sorry, save image as choice right here. Save image as. Okay, click save image as. And Fly Swatter is a fine title for it, so I'll leave it. I'm going to save it on the desktop where I can access it easily. Okay, hit save. And then when I come back to my Word document, I'm going to change this background picture to the fly swatter. Right, that's done by hovering over the picture here, hold down Control again, click, and do change picture, this option to change the picture. Change picture, and I saved it on the desktop, so I'll click over here onto desktop, and there's my picture of fly swatter. Choose that, and I click the blue button down here, insert. And there we go. Now, this is kind of hard to see and work with right now. And in fact, a lot of my text was white, so that's super hard to see. But let's get the picture squared away first. I'm going to zoom out so I can see a little bit better. So if I click over on the zoom here, I'm going to change my zoom to like 60%. All right, that's much better. Okay, and now this picture doesn't cover the whole page, so I'm going to stretch it by clicking down here. Okay, and maybe I'll move it even a little bit so we can get more of the handle in there. And I'll move it up, and I'm going to stretch it down again. So there we go. Okay, so now my background picture is this fly swatter. All right, let's see. I'm going to change my font, okay, because you can't see it right now. I used white font because it showed up on the other picture, but with this one it doesn't show up at all. So the first thing I'm going to do is change my font. I'm going to click once, and now you can see this text box has been highlighted, and then double click. I'm going to change the color right up here. I'm going to change this back to black. Okay, there we go. And again, click once, double click, and then you can highlight back to black. Okay, maybe I'll put her name, the author name over there. And then again, one click, and then 1, 2, 3 to highlight. And we'll go to black, then one click, and then 1, 2, 3 to highlight, back to black. Okay, now you can see all my font again. And you can move things around a little bit so you get them where you like. And sometimes, you know, things bump each other out of the way, so you kind of just have to be willing to mess around a little bit. Okay, okay, and then I'll move this. And now I'm going to change the actual words. So I still have the words from the home example in here, but I want to change them to for licked. So I'm going to, if I want to change the title first, I'm just going to click over on the title. Click, 1, 2, 3, there we go, and change it to licked. Okay, now see what happened there? The D didn't come out because my text box isn't big enough. The D is floating down here. So if that happens to you, and it probably will, you need to mess around with it a little bit. You just click and drag over to make your box bigger, and there's the D. Okay, and then you can move it back so we can read it a little bit better. You're just going to need to play around with it a little bit, maybe change the colors, change the location. Okay, there we go. And then I could change my theme, right? Click once, click 1, 2, 3 to highlight it all. My theme for licked, well, I don't really know what the theme of licked is, and other than children are destined to drive their parents crazy or something like that. Let's say that's what it is. Children are destined to drive their parents crazy. Okay. And again, we got to move things around just so it all fits. All right. Maybe you don't, you know, licked is kind of hard to see right now. So one thing you could do is if you click on the title and you hold down, if you click on the title and then you do the paint bucket over here, you should be able to, yep, there you go. Change the color so that you can actually read the words. Okay, again, paint bucket, yellow. Oh, now we can see better. Oh, see, and I can see that I misspelled a word. And again, you can highlight over here. And it's again, click and 1, 2, 3 just to change any of these words. Okay, and so I'm changing the background color so you can see a little bit better. Again, to change the background color, click, double click, until you get the paint bucket up here, and then you can change the color. You know, I could do orange if I wanted to, whatever you want. And then finally, the quotes. These are your 3 pieces of evidence that prove the theme, okay? So again, click, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, there we go, right? And you would change the quotes. Now, one thing that you shouldn't do here that I haven't said yet is you should never hit the delete button never hit the delete button, okay? Because if I hit delete, it resets the fonts and it potentially could reset the fonts and everything. So all you do is instead of hitting delete, you just type right over. Just start typing and it'll erase it, okay? Dad is amazing. Remember that? What a man. He hasn't cracked yet. Okay, showing that he's trying to drive his parents crazy. All right, and this is how we do it. So when you're done, you should have the title of your book, the author, the theme, and then a list of topics down here that you've changed. All right, so again, 1, 2, 3, and you're just typing in the different topics. Okay, so a topic in Licked is parents, anger, practical, jokes, bosses. Okay, these are all topics in the story Licked, and I'm replacing them one by one. All right, and that's it. That should get you started, at least on this project. These movie posters are going to look great. Remember, you're going to print a black and white copy before you print a color copy, just to double check it for spelling and make sure it's all good to go before we use the color ink. All right, if you have any questions, I'm right over there. I'm somewhere in the room if you have questions. Okay.
2, 3.
This has been a Two Cat production.
Okay, sorry.